All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gladiator Arena. So it's funny, I just started this recording and I sat there in silence looking for the full screen tab. And so I stopped the recording and I knew there just had been a patch released. And here it is now. It's under map controls. So no longer on the main toolbar up there, in case you're wondering. All right, so a lot's happened here. It is day 16 here. Nope, day 16. Um, and so a lot has happened, and yet nothing at all has happened. So a lot of back and forth up here between the war between Russia and Great Britain, as Great Britain has brought around here, has gone in favor of Russia by quite a bit. But Russia is getting worn down with a lot of battles between Sweden and Great Britain and Russia. And of course, Russia accidentally went to war with Denmark. That was a big blow for us. So I went ahead and decided to bring some people up to here because there is a kind of a crippling exploit that they haven't taken advantage of yet. And I have to assume it's because Great Britain does not have right of way with Denmark. And so I think Sweden has right of way with Denmark. I think we've shown that in the past. But certainly I know that Raya Force here is concerned because any enemy could come here and just position themselves in the bunker of their ally and rain down on the capital of Russia. So that's a big concern over here. I'm going ahead and posting up here 13 guys right here. I measured it out, and these 13 are out of the vision range of this guy here. Now, it does appear there's a pretty steady migration southward from Sweden, so there may be an opportunity for me to strike in here and take some territory. It'd be super cool if I could take this territory. Then it would be all right of way of my troops. I'd leave maybe one behind just as a, hold the fort kind of guy, and move up and over along this road and see if I could do something in the backcountry. Maybe up and over, maybe down and over. I'm not sure. Anyway, possibilities there. Raya Force is doing a great job of managing his borders here. Now, the big news here is that the Ottomans have a cruiser on the map. Here he is. And Britain has several. So Britain, unfortunately, was able to get through here. This was a choke point I wish we could have maintained here. But Spain did not have a cannon, I don't think, at the time here. And that's something to remember for future games. Again, one of the things we're doing here is really just getting a feel for this map. So I'm loving that we're getting a lot of experience. I think I mentioned in a previous game, what we might do with this is let the winner choose 3 and the losing team choose 2 and take that 5 into a real live game, alliance game in the wild. So that'll be fun. We'll see what happens with that. I did mention to Carried. He got mad at me because I called him Carried Away. It's like, dude, you can't make your name 80% of a common saying. Get mad if somebody finishes the saying for you. So anyway, Carried, I told him, I was like, dude, why don't you go ahead and just run 2 guys over here and just take this province? And, chances are there's a cannon in here, but he would have to leave with his cannon to come over to attack. So, he could even come over with the whole stack here. 27 and a cannon's going to be hard to mess with and build a fort there. That's kind of what the Ottoman did over here. That's kind of what Harkold did over here. It was a good strategy. He moved onto my land here and built forts. And he had a pretty high-level fort here because I bombed it out all night long. And I had some confusion there because I saw how many people were in the fort. And then someone was saying, well, maybe he accidentally left and then came back, or it was a click move or something. And I just briefly saw he had 60-plus guys in there. But anyway, I think it's more likely he just had a higher-level fort than I thought he did. Because I bombed him all night, and by the time I got there the next day, it was still a question mark, so it hadn't even bombed it down below level 2. So what's happening here is kind of a big deal. Italy came down with 2 cannon and ran in a bunch of guys. I ran in 3 and then 1 because that's all I had in the region. And then I asked Spain if he would run some in as well, and he did. And that really is just to engage this cannon stack. However, the cannon stack backed out here and is still attacking into this group here. So I didn't say anything to Batarik here because it's hard to figure out what the best thing to do is. Um, I think I might have went ahead and attacked directly into his cannon stack. If I was him, I know I would absolutely attack directly into this cannon stack. They're within each other's range here. But neither is choosing to do that. So they're concentrating on the main battle here. I just recently sent a missive over to Batarik saying, hey, dude, back those cannon out. It's time for them to leave. For real. They're not going to do any more damage. Really, 40 minutes until the next attack. And, these guys are going to attack in 7. They'll be gone in 7. These guys are going to attack in 13. They'll be gone in 13. Freeing these guys up to these cannon here to attack in 30. So no matter what happens, I think these are going to be cleared out. Maybe there'll still be one more Spaniard down here, maybe 2. But it's clearing out. So the cannon needs to get out of there. This is a game now at this point of attrition. So we really want to try to keep that cannon. And here's why. I'm going to go ahead. He had to pull 10 guys out of this fort to come down to here. So that means there's probably 50. Maybe there's more. I don't know. But look what I have in the region. I've got 20 coming in over here. I've got another cannon. So that's 55, right? 55 and 3 cannon. And make it 56. By God, we're counting every one of them. 56 and 3 cannon. That's a 3 cannon. I'm hoping he only has 1 in here, but maybe he's got 2. 55 and 3 cannon. 64 and 3 cannon. 65 and 3 cannon. And I messaged Batarik down here and said, please come in with that 10 and that crucially powerful. That's really 12 here, right? So my 65 becomes 77 with these troops involved as well. 77 and 3 cannon can win this. And especially if they're still kind of tangled up down here a little bit. I mean, he'll try to race them back, but it'll take him time to get there. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to try to attack in properly. If I can, I'll attack in from 2 sides, 9 in this direction, make it 10 in this direction, and 20 in this direction to engage in melee. And then I'll hold back this whole stack here to try to protect the cannon. If I'm able to engage melee here, I will go ahead and send in the rest of these ground troops into here. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that this damage and attrition down here will be enough to kind of hold while I attack in up north. There's another cannon coming in, so he will have 3 cannon in this vicinity. And this is what we can't fight this. We determined early on that they have a material advantage and an energy advantage. And now, having taken 2 of my territories that are both food, and having taken 1 of Russia's territory that is a food, right? And this is, Russia lost this, but he lost it to an AI over here that he accidentally went to war with. That was a big dang it moment in our game. But we're 3 food down. And I talk about this sometimes. If we're 3 food down, they're 3 food up. That's a 6 food differential, right? We went down 3, they went 3 up. So the difference is 6. And that kind of thing is really hurtful. So they already had a material advantage. They already had a food, an energy advantage. And now they have a fairly significant food advantage. And so the longer this game goes, the worse off we are. We can already see there are at least 3 cruisers in the water. There's one up here from Great Britain. There's one that I showed you down there from Great Britain. And then there's one from the Ottoman over here. And I suspect there's another cruiser from Great Britain somewhere over here. And almost certainly a cruiser coming around the bend up here. So I think Great Britain's doing exactly what he needs to be doing, which is just heavily building cruisers. And if that's the case, think about it. I've lost 2 cannon already in my ill-fated attack in over here overnight. And I've got, 3 cannon on the map. So that's 5 cannon. If Great Britain didn't build anything else, I think he did build a cannon or 2 earlier, though. But he should have at least 3 or 4 cruisers on the water right now and probably building more. And that's what's depressing, is if they're trading resources properly between each other and keeping each other afloat, they have that overall advantage over us. So I'm thinking, I can play this waiting game. And Germany has been highly conservative, has really risked nothing this whole game. And that has kind of helped us. But on the other hand, it's a pretty wise thing to do, because it's like I've said before, if you're playing chess and you're even a pawn up, if you're playing with good players, if you're even a pawn up, you'll take the trades, right? You can play very conservatively. You can trade pieces, you can stay out of danger, you don't have to take any risks, because ultimately in an even game of skill, just that little bit of advantage. And I'd say at this point, I would call them 2 pawns up on us, with those 3 territories and then the additional territory lost to the AI. In this game, they're 2 pawns up. And keep it in mind, too, they started off with that material advantage, and that energy advantage really hurt. And again, that is why if we ever play this game again, we are going to do everything we can to take Morocco. Now, Morocco started off, this was random placement, just had the bad luck of being with 3 enemies in the vicinity. There's no guarantee that that would be the case. In fact, we may find ourselves with Morocco and Spain. Okay, if Morocco and Spain are together, that's a nice little power, combination there. So, each game is going to be different depending on, how we end up placed on this map. But at the end of the day, we got to look at those charts and find out what exactly the energy and material balance is, and start to address that. Try to address that early in the game before there's many forts. And I think that's going to be a secret. That's what happened to us in the first game. We lost our central guy. They did a coordinated attack with 3 different countries in, and took a bunch of territory. And really, once it's 4 against 5, that's pretty much it. I mean, I feel like, unless we're playing a noob team, in which case they wouldn't do something like that, right? That's pretty much it. I mean, 4 against 5, and don't forget, we lost 11 territories, or however many there are, 11 or 12, and they gained that. So if we lose 11 and they gain 11, that is a 22 province differential. Total province count will be down 22 provinces. So that's pretty big early on. So I think that's going to be the ticket to this moving forward, is that we do carefully coordinated attacks that we all commit to 100% early in the game. And we've seen it happen once, and we've seen it just barely fail once. And so I think we can do better in the future. And that's going to have to do, I think a lot of that's going to have to do with understanding each country and how they defend. So France has a pretty nice little hot gates here defense situation. I think if they can stock a few people here, they're fairly safe from Britain early in the game, right? Early in the game. And then he can have some people over here. Wow, Spain is moving all over the place with these cannon. I feel like 1 cannon maybe here. And that's a great place for a cannon to be, honestly, because, he can start here and then he can back off and keep any cruiser in range. But 3 cannon there, with everything that's going on in Central Europe, there's a pressure cooker happening over here in Central Europe. I guess he's fearing a big invasion from Britain. But again, yeah, I hadn't seen that. I hadn't looked at that section of the world. But Spain's doing pretty good with cannon. You can see he's got 4 there, and he's got 1 all the way down south. So he's got 5 on the map. Oh, there's another one, 6, 7. Holy crap. He's got 7 cannon. I'm counting this one down here as well. So that's good. But they need to be in places where they can do some damage. I don't understand 3 cannon here, but he may have machinations that I'm not aware of. This could be an invasion force, and that could be kind of cool. I'm interested to see what's going on with this. To be honest with you, we'll see. What I know is right now I've got only 3 cannon on the map, and I'm ready to kind of go for it here. I've got to do something. I've got to do something to try to tip the balance back in favor. You'll notice here there was 14 Frenchmen, and it's weird because the first time I attacked into here, Spain turned around and left. He had a big stack there, and he left right in the middle of the attack, and I was like, what? Why did that happen? And now it's just coincidence. But now I'm getting ready to attack in again, and France leaves with a big stack. I'm like, God damn it! And France is positioning to maybe attack down into Morocco here, because I believe carried somebody got right of way. Yeah, I think it was France. It was Benji Gunn and got right of way over here with Portugal. So I think he's putting together an army to come down and land. The problem is that there's 2 cruisers in the water over here. So anybody who tries to cross this vast amount of water is going to get nailed. We don't have anything in the water to counter that. So I would say, France, my bud, if you hear this message, because I'm going to share this on my channel right after I finish. If you hear this message in time, I would ask you to go ahead, if you wouldn't mind, turn that around and attack in. I asked the same thing over here of Italy. Would you please attack in with that 11? And, we were talking about how many did I end up having? 77 or something with the total count. That would be another 13. That might seal the deal here. A win here would be pretty huge. It'd be pretty nice. We need that. We really need that. I mean, honestly, a win here would not even get us back to the starting position on the map. We need to push on down and get a win down here as well. And I still don't have right away with any of these countries, so I can't even really effectively counterattack down here. We've had really bad luck with the right of way. I certainly have anyway. I only got right of way with a country that I don't really need right of way with at all, way up there in Denmark. I know for a fact that the Ottomans have gotten right away with Romania and with Serbia over here. He's been walking through both of those territories. So that's exactly what he needed, and that's exactly what he used to attack into here. So there is going to be some luck in here, folks. There's just no getting around it. He even got, I'm pretty sure he got right of way over here in Romania after he attacked me. So after he attacked me, his popularity went down at least 10, probably more like 12 or 14. And I hadn't attacked anyone yet, and he still got right of way with. So you never know, man. There are some rolls of the dice in this game, and it can certainly affect the impact, the overall outcome of the game. So interesting stuff going on. You, the viewer, have been able to hear both sides of what's going on here. You'll no doubt probably understand the strategy here. Germany has just been sitting on its strength. I'm not sure that Germany's lost a single troop yet. Let's just check that. Are you at war with anyone, Germany? No, not at war with anyone. And I don't think he has been at war with anyone. I might be wrong about that. But he's got all of his troops plus everything that's generated since, plus several cannon, I'm sure, by now. So he's a superpower sitting in the middle of Europe here. Meanwhile, I'm starting to kind of break down my borders a little bit. I'm kind of counting on his being conservative since he hasn't really done anything yet. I just planted a balloon here as if that's somehow some sort of guardian to my territories, and I've stripped my border pretty low because I've got to get the Ottoman out of my back country. Because the longer I wait, he built this up to, I believe, a level 5. I'm not sure about that, but when I watch the videos later, I'll know for sure. But he built this up to a pretty high level fort in my territory. He used my laborers. He used literal Austrians, forced them. He cracked whips and pointed guns at them and made them build forts against their own people. They were cruel and heartless invaders. But, again, what I'm trying to do here is just get back to square one. And if I take this, I'll be back to square what? -1. I won't even be back to square one yet. So I won't even be back to square 0 is all I'm looking for, really, is where we started. So we'll see what happens. A lot of interesting stuff. Great Britain has a threatening stack here that's kind of keeping troops populated around this whole region. Not a bad placement. I'm starting to think when I play this game next, I will absolutely threaten the back isles with a stack of 10 or 15 that I never attack with, that I just keep in these waters forever. I think there's a lot to be said for a threatening stack. There needs to be a stack of 15 in these waters, just here forever, threatening, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 little provinces here. Yeah, that's all 1. 4 provinces, maybe even into over here, so 5. Just that stack, just that stack, just hanging around. I think there's a lot of value to that, especially Britain, and it does seem like the Ottoman are particularly susceptible to that. They just have a lot of shoreline, especially the British Isles here. All right, so interesting stuff going on. I mean, I hate to say it, we're on day 13. We haven't had any major developments. In our first game, we lost Germany so quickly, so early in the game, that it was really just downhill from there, and the momentum kind of picked up. I'll say this game has been more of a slow burn. some really, really good defensive player from Raya Force, some really, really good defensive play from Alpha Dago down here. And then, some decent play from everybody else as well. Great attack in from Harkold here. He saw that advantage and he took it. And I tried to counterattack it, and I just missed it. I whiffed it. And I misjudged whether he would be able to get Cannon there in time or not. And he got them there in time. I thought I'd be able to beat that fort down. And I think, again, he was just wise enough to just build the crap out of that fort. Just every day, add another level to it. And he was there for long enough to get a level 5, so I'm pretty sure that's what he had. So, all right, that's it, guys. Thanks for checking in. You can tell I'm probably going to only cast this game every 3 days unless something really big happens. And then in that case, I'll recount. I'll try to catch it while it's happening and or just recount it as soon as it's over. So that's it, guys. Exciting stuff going on. This is still a clincher of this is still a tight match. Anything could happen. So appreciate y'all checking in. I'll see y'all next time. Adios, amigos.